Welcome back to the Avenue. I am so excited and glad to have you here today. On this channel, we talk about things that make money make sense just to the average person. You don't have to be a millionaire. You can just be the average person. And so for my new viewers, thank you for stopping by today. For the ones that's returning, thank you for coming in again. So today we're going to talk about a subject that most of us have been through. I know I've been through in my life before, and sometimes during the year, I get a little stressed out about money, and I'm sure some of you all get a little stressed out about money too, because there are things that happen, some unexpected expenses that may come up, some expected expenses that may come up, some obligations that we know that we're just not prepared for, and it can stress us out. Sometimes if you're a couple, it leads to money fights. Sometimes it leads to bad feelings, sleepless nights. All of this come into play, especially with the inflation that we're in. Stress comes from money a lot of the time. So we're going to talk about that financial stress and how to get relief from financial stress. Stay tuned.
She's a go-getter, alright. What a beautiful sight. Anything she sets her mind to, she stays on it day and night. She writes the checks, she signs the deeds. She plants the fruitful seeds and still finds the time to meet all her family needs.
I can confidently say that if you're going through some kind of financial stress, it's probably because you don't have a system. That's really the number one cause of people going through financial stress. And I know you say, Adrian, I don't have enough income coming in. My bills are this way and that way. And I will tell you 100%, if you have a system that will help you relieve this financial stress. And there are certain parts to this system that we're going to talk about today. The first part of the system is the budget. There's no way around it, you guys. We have to have a budget in place. And I know a lot of people cringe when I say budget because they think, restrictions, be putting in jail, can't spend money here, can't spend money there. And I want you to take a second look at a budget. Look at it as your permission to give you to spend money on purpose. This gives you the right to spend money on purpose. Whatever you have there, you can spend it. A budget consists of income, what is coming into your household. And you know that number. That's all you have coming into the household. That's what we're going to work with. We're going to try to relieve this financial stress with what we have to work with on the table right now, right here today. So a budget is the first thing. And what you want to look at is what you have coming in is your income into the household. The second thing you want to look at are those things that you have to spend money on. You have to have a place to stay. You have to have transportation. You have to have food. You have to have water and light. You have to have the utilities. These are must-haves. These are things that come every month that you have to pay. Whether it's a mortgage, unless your house is totally paid off, or if you're living in an apartment and you're paying rent, or living in a rental house and you're paying rent, you still have to pay these things every month. Your income has to be enough to cover these. Once these are covered, whatever you have extra left over, the system continues because you'll go into looking at things like paying down bills that you have out there, paying, if there's something else that you want to put aside, investing or saving, something like that, you have the extra money that you have left over from your income to pay that. But you look at what is needed. Food is needed. You have to pay for food. Gas is needed. You have to pay for that. These are necessities. There are necessities and there are things that you can have as things that maybe are not necessities. But these are some things, and you need to list the things that are necessities. Insurance, that's a necessity. So these are the things that we need to sit down and list out. I have a video that I've done before. It talks about the budgets that really work. Go take a look at that video because that will help you if you do not have a budget. And if you've been watching me for a while, you should have a budget because that's the one thing that we go over and over again that I preach. Make sure you have a budget. This is the number one thing that will help you with your financial stress relief. Before we leave the budget, the one thing that I will tell you, there's something that is a stress reliever, a stress killer. Okay, and that is called a sinking fund. It's different from all the other funds that we've talked about. A sinking fund is a fund that you set aside that you know that bill or an expense or an obligation is coming up or maybe something that you want to do is coming up in the future and you know it's coming, it's going to hit, and there's no way around it. And this is something that you want to go ahead and be prepared for. At this stage in my life, in my financial situation, in my financial journey, it's about protecting my cash flow. You know, I've got the emergency fund set up, I got the investments going, but that daily or monthly cash flow, the weekly cash flow, that's what I want to protect. And I'll give you an example. I know that in March is when I have to take my Mercedes in to get it serviced. I know that maintenance, the full maintenance on it, it's just maintenance. And this, if nothing is wrong with it, the maintenance is going to cost between $600 and $700. I knew that last year, right? So I put together a sinking fund. So when March hits, I'm not trying to scurry and figure out how am I going to get this $600 or $700 to pay for this bill. I know it's on the way. It happens every March, right? This is my second year owning the car, so it should only be maintenance only, but it's coming, and I know it's coming. So in order to protect my cash flow, that I won't have to move money around or do something different from what I normally do, I have a sinking fund that will take care of that. So any type of maintenance or anything like that, that's what that's for. It's not an emergency because it's something that I know about. That's difference between an emergency fund and a sinking fund. It's something that you know about, you know it's going to happen. And most car maintenance, you guys, when you go in, they'll tell you, you got about another year on these tires and you're going to have to get tires. What do you need to start doing? Planning on putting that money aside, whatever it's going to be, $400 or $500, $600 or however much your tires cost to get tires. It's not an emergency because it's something that you expect to pay out at some point in time. Now, if your battery goes out, that may be an emergency, unless they tell you, hey, your battery's on the last leg, you got about 3 more months and it's going to be gone. Start protecting yourself with these sinking funds. That is a stress killer because you don't have to worry about it. Next up, this will calm your stress, give you a chance to sleep at night, and that is the emergency fund. As we know, an emergency fund is from when something comes up, it could be a job loss, something unexpected that you didn't know that was coming. It happens in all our lives. That's just life. Those are the cards life give you sometimes. You don't know what's going to happen. It happens. It's going to cost money. It's going to cost more money than you had planned for. But if you have an emergency fund sitting to the side, you have that to take care of. For the folks that got furloughed on their job for a month from the government, if they had an emergency fund, they could dip into that for a month to make sure that the bills and everything, that their cash flow, monthly budget was not interrupted because of that. We don't know what may happen. So what I would encourage you to do if you don't have an emergency fund, I would say first start out with about $1,500 to put aside. Then look at what your monthly expense is. And the next step up would be 1 month of your monthly expenses, set that aside. So if you have $1,500 and say your monthly expenses is $3,500, save that, set that aside. The next part you want to do is go to either 3 or 6 months of money set aside for emergencies because you don't know how long things may happen. It could be back-to-back emergencies. It could be a medical emergency. It could be anything like that. So, but you would have the money set aside to keep you afloat until you can pay for this and recover from this. Once that's done, then at that point in time, you would start putting money back in. You use it for something. It's going to be down to maybe 1 month left, 2 months left. It's not going to be at the amount that you had it at. Get it back to the amount that you had it at, then you can stop saving in the emergency fund. And that's just as simple as it gets with an emergency fund. Once it's fully funded, you don't put any more money in that. You start doing other things with that money. But make sure you have an emergency fund because it's like an insurance policy and you can sleep better at night if you have that emergency fund. The very next thing I want you to get in your system is to pay off debt. You probably have some form of debt, whether it's a car payment, whether it's credit cards, whether it's some type of loan, student loan. There's something that you may have that you owe for that you need to pay off. It is a monthly nag. It is a monthly stressor because you're paying on it. And what you want to do is get a system together to pay down the debt. And I would recommend, whether it's a snowball system or an avalanche. Snowball, You start with the smallest amount of debt that you have. Focus on paying that off. Once that is paid off, you take that money that you were paying on that and start paying on that next debt, right? So you would focus on one debt at a time. You would pay minimum amounts on everything else that you have. So if you have 3 credit cards, the one with the smallest amount, you focus on paying as much as you possibly could. The other 2, you pay the minimum on. Once that one is paid off, say it's $500, you get it paid off, right? You don't have that bill on you. You're not going to get a monthly statement every month saying that you owe a certain amount, the $40 or whatever they send you. You move all of that money that you've been paying on that to the next bill, right? And then you get that one paid off. You move it to the next one. That's the way you pay off debt, and it is a stress reliever because you won't have these little nagging bills coming in every month that you have to pay for, that you have to worry about. Once it's done, it's done. So debt repayment is another system that you want to have in place to give you relief from this financial stress. Next up, and you may not love this one, but I have to do it myself. I don't like it, but I know it's necessary. And that is controlling our spending, you guys. It's very easy for me, and I'm going to put it out there because many of you may have the same problem, to go on Amazon. Look at Amazon almost every day. If there's a book that I want to buy, if there's something on Amazon that I feel like I need for my businesses, or if I feel like I personally need, or a household item, I'll go on. The credit card is right there. I'll go on and spend it. I will buy it. Next thing you know, I'm getting these Amazon packages as well as all of my other neighbors. The Amazon truck is in our neighborhood every day. So people are doing this. You get Amazon packages, they'll leave them on your porch. You go out and get the thing that you bought. So you're glad that you bought it, maybe something that you need, but we have to control whether it's Amazon, whether it's some of these other stores that we go in that we know if we're in there, we're going to spend money. Control that. You may want to give yourself a weekly amount that you do not go over, whether it's Amazon or somebody else, that you're not going to spend any over that amount. It may be a lunch weekly amount. It may be $150 a month for eating out, and you're not going to spend over that. You may cut that down to $100 a month and then cook at home. You may have a grocery amount if you go to the grocery store every week or how often you go. Have those spending amounts under control and hang on, keep those spending amounts. But this random spending online, and like I said, Amazon is one of my favorite stores. I do it. I buy from Amazon, and especially if it's something that I feel like is going to increase my knowledge or something that I feel like I really need. I don't really buy a lot of, oh, this looks cute, this looks nice, let me just go out and get it. It's usually equipment that I need or something, a book, something, some type of education, but it's still spending on Amazon, right? So let's control the Amazon spending. And if it's Walmart spending, these little dollar stores that we go in, buy all these trinkets, control that. That would be a part of your financial stress release system. These are systems that we need to put in place that will help us with this financial stress that we're having. Once we get these under control, and I'm not saying never buy anything from Amazon again. That's not what I'm saying. Just control the things that you're purchasing from Amazon. Put a limit on it. Put a stop limit on it that, this is all I'm spending this week, or this is all I'm spending this month, and it's got to fit within this spending budget for the month or the week. All right, keep that in mind. Before we go any further, I want you to put one other thing in your financial plan, is that to hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on the latest information as I'm bringing it to you. These systems are vital for relieving your stress when it comes to financial stress. So pay close attention to what's being said and just take heed and use the things that would help you relieve your financial stress. Sometimes the question comes up, should I invest for the future or should I pay off debt? And it's an either or question sometimes. People want to focus on one or the other. And some of the gurus say stop all investing and focus strictly on the debt. I'm not one of those. I believe in especially if you're getting free money from your company, if they're willing to pay you match the amount in your 401k or whatever they have you investing in, by all means do that. Use common sense with everything else that you're investing in, because it does not make sense to put an investment in place that's going to give you 3 or 4%, and you have a credit card over there that you're paying 28, 29% on interest. Get that paid off and then do some other things. But I'm of the mindset to do both because I don't want you to miss out on something, especially the free money that they're going to give you because you're paying off a debt or paying off a bill. If there's any way you can squeeze some money out to continue your investment journey, do that. Don't go overboard and start investing a whole lot or buying a whole lot of stock and you have a whole lot of debt over there because you don't know which way the stock market is going to go. You don't know how much your investment is going to earn you while you're still paying, but you know exactly how much you're paying in interest. And that interest is taking from your money the amount that you would have to actually invest in. So make sure you just take a look at those, but I'm not ever going to tell you do not invest, especially when it's getting that free money. Try to do that as much as possible and then pay down those other bills. While I'm at it, let me put this caveat in there. This information is for informational purposes and not investment advice. I am not giving you what to invest in, what to do, what not to do. This is information that you can use and choose to use what you need to help you in your financial situation to eliminate that financial stress. You all, this part I don't bring up much, but it needs to be a part, in my mind, it needs to be a part of your system, and that is giving. The giving part of the system is, it lets you know that money is a tool and not a master, right? Because you can do what you want to do with your money, but if you can give some to someone else, give something to a charity, and I'm not telling you how much to give as your heart leads you to give, but giving is a part of the system. There's so many people that say, I wish I could, I wish I had it, that type of thing. And at some point in time, the conversation needs to change from I wish I could give, I wish I had it to give, to why don't I have it to give? Why can't I give this time? How many times am I going to miss out on giving? Because there is a blessing in giving. And when you give, you normally receive, it may not be money that you get back, but you get something else back. So let's not think too little of giving. Let's keep that in the system also. Now, the one thing that I want you to think about, and in some cases, we do need to increase our income. Once you sit down and write that budget out and you see that this is what I have to work with, but oh my gosh, I'm in more debt or I have more money going out than I do have coming in. And if I could only get this debt paid off, if I could only get that debt paid off, things would look a lot better. Or for some of you, if you've lost your full-time job, you're working a part-time job, the income has decreased, so there may be something that you need to do. And just look at this for the side hustles that you may need to get into, the other jobs that you may need to do. Look at them. It's not for eternity. It may be for a season. It may be for a month, maybe for 2 months. It may be for 6 months. It may be for a year. But you should plan those in as a light eventually at the end of the tunnel. It should not become a normal part of your everyday, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Do it to get out from up under some of this stuff. Once you get out from up under some of these bills that you have on you, then things could get much better. You may get another job. You may get a raise in your job. So things would be looking up. But don't not get a side hustle when you know that you don't have enough to make ends to meet. Do what you need to do to get out of the debt, make things work for you, and get out from up under some of that stress. But just realize it's only for a season, if it needs to only be for a season. And plan those seasons in. Plan that season it's going to come to a stop right here because I'm going to have this paid off, I'm going to have this paid off, and I'm not creating more debt where I would have to continue along this same line of extra work or extra jobs. It may be Uber, it may be anything. I personally have done notary as side hustle, right? And back in 2020, I was bringing in some good money, thousands of dollars a month extra aside from the salary that I was getting paid. So I did that, and I still have my notary license, and I really don't take jobs much anymore unless I'm just totally not doing anything, which my schedule is extremely busy these days. But you could do something like that. I have also been worked in a call center in my home Everything was connected up to a computer. I worked on a call center. I worked on it before I went to work in the morning. And when I came in the afternoon, I worked on it at night for a season. That season was about, I think it was about 6 months, because quite honestly, that's all I could take of that. It was good. And once I got used to it, I could handle the calls, handle the customers. And you work with all kinds of people when you're on a call center. People call in upset. Most of the time they're calling in upset or with some type of emergency. So you have to be that type of person to calm them down. You get rated when you're in the call center, that type of thing. You have to get in to pick your schedule, have so many hours work. So it's more, things that you have to think about and invest in. But it was only for a season. I knew that I wasn't going to be doing that the rest of my life. It was for a season, and I got out of it. I was glad I did it, because hats off to you guys that work in call centers. You are wonderful, and God bless you. Now, the last thing I will share with you to make this stress system, relief system, much easier for you is to automate it. As long as you have enough income coming in and you can automate where things need to go, where payments need to go, that certain amount of payment need to go, whether it's out of your checking account, savings account, whatever you do, automate that where you have money coming into that account, then you have money going out of that account automatically, and you don't have to think about it. You do need to look at these accounts to make sure there is enough in there. You do need to know when this money is going to come out, when it's being scheduled to come out. Sometimes they will let you schedule it on whatever day you want it to come out. So if you know you get paid every Friday, you can do something with that. If you know you get paid on the 1st and the 15th, you can do something with that. If you know you get paid every 2 weeks, that may not be the 1st and the 15th, or monthly, you can also work with that. But if you automate it, it will make life much easier. One more thing you have to take off of your plate is with the automation. And so that's the one thing that will help you with having this stress. As you can see, if you have a system together with the things that we've talked about in this video, it will help you relieve your stress. It'll get you out of debt and get you to the point where it's easier. And as things come up, they won't be such a big stressor, because you have systems in place to take care of those emergencies. You have systems in place to take care of those large expenses that may be coming throughout the year that you know about that's not an emergency. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Go back through the video if you need to, but I'm here to help you relieve your stress, your financial stress. And with that, I will see you in the next video.
Go Adrian. Humble, go get it blessed. Let's go.